Hello, hello. Welcome. My name is Vanessa. I'm the Chicago face artist. I'm going to show you my typical everyday makeup application. So I'm going to get started. I like to do eyes first, even if I'm going really minimal. I'm going to get started with my eyelash curler. Lately, I haven't been using a primer. I don't know why. I love a primer. I just haven't been doing it, and I've had no problems keeping my makeup on all day. So my skin is freshly washed with my daytime skincare routine, and that video is available now for you to view. As you can see, when I curl my lashes, I get really far down to the absolute base lash line, and then I kind of clamp or put more pressure on and off as I'm clamping the lashes in place. This really locks in a curl, keeps it long, keeps them curled way longer. Blech. I always say whenever my speech is like off, it's because I'm tired or I'm not feeling well. So don't mind me. Now, when I put on mascara, I like to get into the base and wiggle through. And then I like to come up and down on the lash to really coat the lash. I'm using SEINT Beauty mascara. This is in Lash Velvet. SEINT has 3 different mascaras. SEINT is the product brand that I use on my private clientele. So for headshots, special occasion makeup, brides, SEINT Beauty is a makeup line that you can purchase the products through my website. I do also offer services full-time through Bloomingdale's Michigan Avenue with Estée Lauder and other beauty brands. I've been with SEINT Beauty privately for, let's see, 2018, so July 2018, I believe. It's storming here in Chicago, so you might hear a little bit of that thunder in the background. Yes, I put this much work into my lashes. I love my lashes. All right, so that's that. See how that gives my lashes a nice, big, full look? Oh, see, I like to get really far down. You can't really see that well, but I am down at the base. And it just gives a much better curl, better lift. And in between applying mascara, I always close the tube. I don't like to let a lot of air get in, especially with this formula. This formula tends to dry out kind of quick. I love this mascara. I'm actually going to upload a video of comparing a few different mascaras, and that's going to be on a rotation. So I'm going to also compare Estée Lauder, Lancome. We'll see what else I can get my hands on. I don't like using testers at work, so it's all about either sampling or full-size product that I will compare. And those will be in like short videos here on YouTube. Just so you know, I do have private accounts on Instagram as well as Facebook. I also have a private beauty group on Facebook, which you have to be a client of mine in some way, shape, or form in order to be in that group. But that group is where I have some exclusive content. I also have giveaways. really good giveaways too. I do a lot of full-size product, luxury items. Look at that. Ooh. I love lashes. I do use a lash growing serum as well. That's featured in my nighttime skincare routine video. That is by Hello Skincare, and it's called Lash Therapy. It's a really nice lash growing product. It's pretty natural, on the more natural side, and it doesn't have any possible side effects of changing your eye color, which I love. I don't want to have brown eyes. I love my eye color. So I'm just using a gel eyeliner to tightline my top lash. I love having some more depth between my lash line and my eyes, and it just gives a nice strong structure for the lash line, and it enhances the eyes really naturally. The pencil I'm using is Trish McAvoy Intense Gel Eyeliner in Espresso. I do like her deep aubergine pencil as well. Her pencils are great because they go on really easily. They like glide right on. Now, don't mind the siren. I need a little bit of lip balm. This is my SEINT Beauty Compact. This is basically like my whole foundation system that I use most often. I do use other foundations here or there, and just bronzer or contour depending on how much time I have allowed. And so my compact contains a lip conditioner, bronzer, under eye concealer, under eye added brightener, contour, foundation, and then I have varying lip and cheek colors. This is a bronzer, and I love to mix it with this pink. It's really pretty rose tone. And then that is that's a contour that I like to use to line my lips. And then my brow baseline eyeshadow, which we'll get to. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tackle my under eyes. Usually I have these in order of application, but I recently changed things up, so I got to move things around a little bit. So I barely tapped into this foundation, or a highlight shade is what SEINT Beauty calls these. It's basically like your contour foundation, and it's in a cream form. Some people are scared at the idea of a cream. It's so beautiful on the skin. It's really lightweight. It's not what you think unless you're applying it way too heavy, which some people can mistakenly do. So as you can see, very small taps gave me a lot of coverage here. I do like to come down into the cheek. I go upwards to create a pretty lift, and then I just buff it through. Throughout the day, and probably by the time I get to my full-time job, I will need to most likely tap in the product because it might crease a bit. Now I know it's better to have no creasing with concealer. It's more idyllic, but in all reality, it's best to have a product that does crease a bit because you know that product has moisture, and we need that moisture under the eye. Here I come with my education. It's just better to have the moisture because that delicate eye area, the skin ages fast. So you want it to have the moisture to combat that aging process. So I like to bring my brightener back up into the center of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose. And then I'm going to take a little tap and apply it in the Cupid's bow, center of the chin. Again, we want to brighten and pull forward, and then just a little bit around the nose. And as you saw, I did apply it on the sides of the nose. It's raining. Next, I'm going to take that same brush and lightly tap into that brighter shade and just pop it right here in the inner corner. Opal. Oh, sweet girl. Oh no. This is a treat for you. Opie honeys. You okay, baby? She's terrified of thunder. Now I'm gonna take the smudge brush. This brush I'm using is called the blend brush. Now I'm using the smudge brush and I'm using the half moon edge. And I'm just gonna add a little contour to the nose. Well, I hope this rain calms down for my commute to work. So I'm just going down the edge of the bridge of the nose, literally the edge. And I'm keeping a nice skinny line between the two lines. And then I like to kind of polish off the tip of the nose. And then I'll take a little bit of that excess and just add a tiny bit of shadowing to my bottom lip. It's okay, honey. Now I'm just gonna take that blend brush and use the fluffier end, or the bigger end, and give that a little blend. And then I like to just take my ring finger and kind of tap up here. I tend to apply a little heavy here, and I just get a better blendability with my ring finger. Now I'm gonna take what's called my buff brush. I'm gonna use the wider end and I'm gonna apply contour to the perimeter of my face to give some structure and shape. So I lightly tap in and I come right along the hairline as so. Along the jaw, chin, jaw, then I'm going to grab a couple taps more and I'm going to come right above that hollow on my cheek and give like a little bit of a triangle effect here. It's just gonna help slim down a bit. And then I like to kind of come in here because I do have a little meaty spot there. And yes, we will come in and blend. But first I'm going to apply my foundation with the smaller end. Lightly tap into my foundation shade and apply it in the spaces we have nothing left. The beauty with this is you get coverage with each color, so you don't have to apply a full face of foundation and then go over top. This is more like you're filling in the blanks. Right, Opal? We're just filling in blanks. Silly looking, right? But we're gonna make it all better. Don't mind my shakes. I like to wipe off my brush on an old t-shirt that's cleaned every week. I use a t-shirt, I basically fold it in half, and that is my makeup rag. Oh, I almost forgot. This is a great way to slim down any meatiness under the chin. We're just taking that contour. We're gonna give a little bit of shape to the neck, which is also going to create a nice harmony between our face, neck, and décolleté. You can see I have a lot of color in my décolleté. My neck is a lot softer as most people's are, because our head umbrellas it from the sun. So I like to create a little bit of harmony. Now we're gonna grab that blend brush again, and we're gonna come in, and I'm just gonna do, again, a nice light little blend over that nose. Don't wanna over blend anything either. That's the key to this makeup. You wanna make sure that you blend a little and kind of move on to the next part so that you can let it kind of sit and settle in, so we get this nice natural sculpt shape. Now, normally when I do this, it takes me about, I'd say about 10 minutes. It's taking me longer because I'm walking you through everything I'm doing. So then I'm going over my lighter shades and kind of fusing them together, right? So we're gonna kind of blend that in. That includes our under eye shade. What's fun too with this makeup is every time I wear it, people tend to really stare at my skin because it doesn't look makeup-y. It literally looks like a second skin of brightness and shadowing. And so it's pretty. That's not to say I don't love bottle foundation. I mean, I do. I throw on bottle foundation in a pinch, a lot actually. But this is definitely my go-to. I do this more frequently. And it is, it's a little change. It's a difference in change of what you're getting used to and applying. See how pretty? Looks like skin. Oh, wait, I do want to do that. Okay, now I'm going to add a teensy bit more warmth with our bronzer. I'm using the blush bronzer brush. This is also a great powder brush, and I kind of pinch this end to get the color and not get other colors that are around it. And then I come down and I pat right above the arch of the brow, come up to the hairline, and then come down around the perimeter and the temple, and right above where we put that contour. Then we're going to do that again. Then I kind of pat around there because sometimes the color looks like it needs a little blending. Then I grab a touch more, and we're going to come across the hairline and into the forehead just a bit, and we're going to leave this area bare. Just gives a pretty shape to the face. I grabbed a couple taps more of bronzer. Little bit goes a long way. So the product lasts forever. It's really affordable. If you are interested in this makeup, please feel free to reach out. I do online color matches. I also offer in-person online makeup lessons using the product. And if you're interested in getting a color match with Double Wear or like Armani Luminous Silk or Skin Tint or, you know, any other makeup brand that's available at department store, I am available at Bloomingdale's North Michigan Avenue full time. So now I'm going to add some life to my face with a little bit of blush. I'm going to be using Hollywood, and then at the end, I'll tap in a little bit of Cindy. Hollywood is similar to that NARS Orgasm, and Estée Lauder just came out with the most amazing lip and cheek multi-use stick that is so similar to this. It's a gorgeous pink. It's a little bit more intense. So it is gorgeous. It basically would eliminate my need to add a pop of Cindy at the end of using the SEINT. So it's kind of neat in that way. I was like, oh gosh, this is like Hollywood and Cindy in one. So I'm coming around like this, and then when I'm done, you'll see it. So a couple taps of Cindy just to add a touch more brightness. And I like to just do that right there. So like, I like my blush to start right under the iris, come down and go up. And go up towards the temple, creates a pretty lift. And then I like to do just a touch on the bridge. And then I come in with the fluffier end and I just kind of blur it a bit so it's not so harsh of a change. It's a little bit more blurred. Next, I'm gonna take my illuminator. I'm using this Kevyn Aucoin limited edition opulent finish powder in incandescent. It's so pretty. Again, it was a limited edition item. It's gorgeous. A little bit in the bridge, Cupid's bow, and on the high points of that Cupid's bow area. And then across the top of the cheek, come into the cheek color so it looks natural. And then I like to come right in here. It's just such a pretty glow. My skin does already have a really pretty glow, but I love the extra boost. And then I like to take the tip of my ring finger and grab that color and pat it there and there. And then I do want to give a little bit of shaping to my eyes. So I'm going to take that half moon edge of the smudge brush, tap into my contour, and apply it like so. You can see how it's giving that nice contoured look, adding to the contour that already exists there. Just helps shape my eyes and give a nice natural pronunciation. See? Now we're gonna get to brows. We're almost done. So brows, I'm gonna use my brow brush, okay? I like to brush up. Gives more lift. And then I'm gonna tap into my SEINT eyeshadow called Oak. And we're gonna draw a baseline at the bottom of the brow. And it's okay if it's a little dark, because I'm gonna show you what I do. Okay, so we've got a little shape there. Let's do the other eye. Now, I'm gonna take the spoolie and brush up. And this feathers the color, softens that line, adds color to the brow hair and the rest of the brow shape. So it gives a more natural finish, as you can see. See how pretty? Nice, pretty. And now, also too, I get like a fallout from that powder, so I always go through and kind of brush that fallout with my powder, the fluffy end. Now, we're going to take the SEINT Beauty Brow Wax. You can do this with any kind of like brow wax or what have you. And then I'm using my SEINT. This is actually the setting spray. It's not the Plush Prep Mist. I just use the Plush Prep Mist bottle. I like the classic setting spray the most. I'm just taking a different spoolie than my brow brush. This one is the one that I use specifically for the wax, and it is kind of falling apart, so I will need a new one soon. I get a good ample amount of that product on there, and you want to make sure you use the tiniest little spray of setting spray on the wax. You don't want to use too much. Otherwise it just kind of melts down the product and you're not going to get that tacky hold that we want on the brows. So I love this because it does add like a natural volume, a natural volumizing component to the lash or to the brow hairs without like using fibers or anything that's gonna look like overly built up in the hairs. And as you can see, I'm kind of brushing up and over, so in an angle, up and over. And what that's doing is just creating more fullness, shape, and a lift to the eye area. Oh, I need a sip of something. Just my Trader Joe's chai tea. During the cooler months, I'm a chai tea girl, or black tea. In the colder, warmer months, I love iced coffee. It's so good, like a cold brew, and I make my own cold brew. So now I'm using my NYX brow, what is this called? NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. And I'm just adding hair-like strokes to the shape that already exists. And you can see I don't have to do a lot at the bottom of the brow because I've already added that natural enhancement with that shadow baseline. I really like this style of brow for me right now because it's soft but still defined. It looks more natural. Which I love. And so you want to be sure to not go overboard, which can easily be done. And you want to make sure you fill in like really sparse spots so you get that nice natural shape. Yes, I know I need to do my nails. My nails are normally done, or most of the time they are, but lately I've been struggling to keep them as nice as I normally do. Working 2 jobs with 3 kids is not an easy task. But I do need it. So this brow is my tricky brow. I kind of have to come in and give a little extra attention and love to it because it's just a little bit more of a challenge to fill. See how it just kind of, sometimes though, just a little brushing helps. Smooth out the color. Now, as you can see, I do struggle to get the arches perfect and, you know, in synchronization, harmony, whatever. I can never get them identical, but they're sisters, right? Not twins. The old saying, tried and true saying, sisters, never twins. So yes, this one needs a little bit more blending, little added brush through, and I might have to tweak it when I get to work. We'll see. I love keeping these. I have one stashed in my purse. I have one stashed in my work drawer. I love having them just around for need be. Sometimes I'll catch a certain you know, aspect in a different kind of lighting and setting, and I'm like, oh, I need a hair there. I need a little brow hair added there. All right, so that's better. That's better. There we have it. Now I'm going to add some powder to lock everything in. I love this Estee Lauder powder. It's new. It's the Double Wear Stay in Place Matte Powder Veil. It's nice because it kind of blurs imperfections, has some hyaluronic acid, so it plumps everything up and gives a little boost of moisture. But it does help keep the skin nice and matte, and it locks in your makeup. And this is in translucent light medium. So I'm just gonna take my powder brush, swirl it in. And just kind of work it in. I'm gonna take this. This is a second blend brush that I have just for powder. And I'm just gonna kind of come in and emphasize those little tight nook and cranny spots. And then you can apply a little bit under the eye. And then we're gonna do, lips and then setting spray. Lips, I've been on and off with this combo for years. This is the Ideal Lip Liner from Lancome. They don't make it anymore. I've been using this combo for 25 years. On and off for 25 years. This is Coquette lipstick. This is the Lancome L'Absolu Rouge, and it's a cream, 326 Coquette. It's a really pretty, like warm pink. It's really soft. It's very comparable to Ballerina Shoes by L'Oreal. I don't like the way L'Oreal lipsticks smell. Otherwise, I'd grab one and try it out. But Ideal Lip Liner is where it's at. Lancome, bring it back. I doubt Lancome will hear me, but bring it back. Everybody wishes they never got rid of it. Like, especially makeup artists, pro artists. I've had people offer to buy this from me. So I'm going just around the very outer edge and outer perimeter of my lip. I'm at the age now where my color is receding, so this area does look lighter. And if you don't know, there's a large amount of women out there that will think that their lip is just getting smaller and they need to adhere to the colored area, where you should really adhere to the bumping. As you can see, like this is lighter here, but the bump in the meatiness of the face structure is higher up. There's a fuss. Okay, got a nice little shape. I like to come in and contour the inner corner and then add a little volume with some vertical lines. Oh no, I nicked it somehow. Okay, now my lipstick. Make sure you go over that lip line so it looks harmonious, blended. Okay, and then this is an interesting cap. It's one that you push here and then it kind of pops out. So then you pop it back in. I do also love Estee Lauder makes a beautiful pink that I wear a lot too, that has that frost, and it's called Pink Parfait. I love this color. This is another one that I love. And frost is, it's fun. I mean, it's back. So here to compare the two. That's Pink Parfait and that's Lancome Coquette. So this is Estee Lauder, Pink Parfait, Lancome Coquette. That lip liner would work with both, but I love using Lauder's Mauve. Ooh, we'll do that another day. And I'll just show like a picture, or we'll do a short or something because it's so pretty. And I have a couple of Lauder combos that I love to wear, but this has just been my thing like recently. Like I've been favoring this look. So as you can see, I'm nice and polished, it's clean, it's pretty, it's enhancing my eyes, enhancing my complexion. You can see this beautiful shape and harmony. It creates this beautiful lift in the skin, in the face shape and structure, and everything just looks more snatched, if we will. And it's a natural, as Scott Barnes would call it, it's a snatchral. It's a really snatchral look, and it's gorgeous. I love this. It's just simple, easy, and it's pretty, and it's great when you're in a hurry. Because like I said, I get this done in about 10 to 12 minutes. I get this whole look done. Excuse me. So I hope you like it. I'll definitely be back with more videos, makeup ideas, different looks, things of that nature. We're going to be comparing foundations. We're going to be comparing mascaras. There's so much goodness. I can't wait to dive in with you guys. And this is my t-shirt rag, just so you see. My t-shirt rag, I fold it in half. I get 4 applications out of 1 t-shirt. So that side that's dirty will get flipped around. That's a dirty side too, so we got to go to the other side of the t-shirt, or maybe we have to change the t-shirt. Yeah, we have to change the t-shirt. So I have a fresh one here. Fresh one here. These are my old clearance work t-shirts. I save them and I use my work t-shirts as makeup racks after they're done. So this is one side. I lay it down. I gather my brushes and tools, kind of lay them flat a bit. Just so you can see. Lay them flat a bit. And then I just kind of roll the t-shirt around. I hope you can see that. Can you? Yes. And then I store it in my drawer. Just like so. See? And I probably caught a glimpse of my dirty laundry that's right there, but who cares? So this is it. This is my look. If you are interested in getting a makeup lesson, if you are interested in using alternative brands, if you're interested in SEINT, if you're interested in Estee Lauder, please let me know. I'm happy to schedule and make time for you. And yeah, nice fresh skin, nice shaping. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.